There's a new Togekiss deck out there that combines the new rare candy with the already powerful Cynthia card. If you're a fan of fairy-type Pokemon, then look no further than this deck right here. Has this deck been secretly hiding this whole time as the actual best deck in the new format? It recently came in second place overall, that's right, number 2 in one of the biggest tournaments in Celestial Guardians. I took this deck into ranked mode to find out for myself just how powerful it really is. So let's look at a couple matches I played to find out the strengths and weakness of this deck, starting with the strengths. From the games I've played so far, I think the biggest strength, the strongest opener, let's say, of this deck is leading off with either a Tapu Lele or the Farfetch'd. Love to see the Farfetch'd, by the way, to the person who actually created this deck. Originally, I just got the deck list from the second place tournament list. But I'm also a bit of a far-fetched connoisseur lover myself, as anyone will know who watches the channel a little bit. So starting off with one of those two, putting the early pressure on to go ahead and lower their Pokemon down a little bit, and then building up that Togekiss on your bench up to the 2 energies to be ready to come out. Especially with the Cynthia getting a huge first hit to kill, and then having that second massive hit that may also kill as well if you have the second Cynthia in hand like we do in this match. Now in this match, things really weren't looking good. This is the main drawback of the deck is really obvious. It's the consistency of the deck. Honestly, the consistency has felt absolutely terrible to me, just being honest here. And yet despite that, I managed to pull off a 70% win rate amazingly with the deck. So we're putting the early pressure on. My opponent, I think they probably made a mistake here also. They led off with the Darkrai, and I immediately started pinging it down, and then they actually retreated. I'm not sure if that was right or not. And we really haven't had any real decision making yet. We started pinging the Darkrai, they retreated it, brought the Arceus EX out, we started pinging that, kept pinging it. Okay, it's got the 2 energies on it, let's just keep pinging it. And then miraculously, we managed to draw the Togepi. Maybe I've just been a little lucky getting the 70% win rate, I don't know, but we got the Togepi exactly when we needed it, put the energy on it right in time to be able to then rare candy as soon as we get that second energy on. We were able to get the Arceus down low enough that this is going to be a 1-hit KO from the Togekiss. And then I think you can see from here exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a guaranteed victory. So I feel like this was actually one of the best showings for the deck, even though it was a little bit of a weird match and my opponent wasn't exactly playing a meta deck, but it just shows you getting that early pressure on, bringing the Togekiss in, using a Cynthia to finish off, and then being ready to swing for actually 100. I was ready to swing for 170. And let me actually just take a moment to shout out what I think has been one of the MVP cards of the deck as I've been playing it, which is Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele has felt just absolutely insanely strong to me, especially against, like, for example, Giratina, which are running around all over the place, okay? It's going to be insane. They're going to try to sit there and build it up on their bench. You may be able to just straight up kill it. I'll show you that here in a second. And then also against, for example, the Stoke Charizard that's running around all over the place as well, okay? We can just get 100 damage for 1 energy. Sounds good to me. Let me show you a quick and just really crazy match that showcases just how powerful this Tapu Lele can be in the right situation. By the way, as this match gets started, quick shout out, gotta do it. If you're interested in this type of video, ranked matches, higher ranks, tournament play, things like that, do please consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so in this match, we look over at our enemy's energy. We see it's dark energy, 2 Giratinas out, and we know we're playing against, I'm pretty sure this is everybody's favorite deck at this point, right? Dark Tina, Darkrai, Giratina. An extremely consistent deck, although they're fumbling a little bit on this round because they don't have the Darkrai, which they always want. So instead, they're just going to power up the Giratina in the back and add the 1 dark energy in the back. Meanwhile, we also stumbled at first. All we had was the Tapu Lele, but we managed to draw into a Farfetch'd and a Togepi, which we put on the bench. Now, this is where I want to show. Again, even if you're stumbling a little bit, our hand actually totally came together in this match, so there was pretty much no way that the opponent was going to come back, it looks like, at this point. But just look at how insane the Tapu Lele was this match. I mean, it basically won the whole match single-handedly by itself. I think my opponent probably made a mistake here. They probably should have just powered up the Giratina in the front, maybe, but I'm not sure if it really would have mattered. And they put that dark energy on right at the beginning to the one that I went after as well. So now that we've seen firsthand some of the strengths of this deck, let's end the video with 1 or 2 more quick matches showing the weaknesses of this deck. The number one weakness, I'm gonna just go ahead and start right now and tell you, is the consistency of the deck, in my opinion. If you've played any rare candy decks at all at this point, I'm sure you have, surely, right? Like everybody's played rare candy decks at this point. I've been playing rare candy decks. You can go back and look at my other videos. There's lots of rare candy action going on. All right, so you probably know as well as I do, you're gonna just straight up brick sometimes where you just can't find the pieces and you just get stuck on that just basic Pokemon. Like here we are, we've got a Togepi, we've got another Togepi, and we've got a Tapu Lele. We've got the rare candy in our hand this time, but we don't have the third evolution, so it's not looking good for us in this match so far. We're up against the Incineroar deck, maybe possibly Charizard EX, and so far in this match we haven't had any choices. Yeah, so far the only choice really was actually this cape, and looking back on it, thinking more on it, thinking throughout the match, I think I probably made a mistake here putting the cape on that Togepi because I knew that Togepi was going to be taking some damage, and we know at this point we're up against probably going to be end up facing an Incineroar since they led off with just a Litten. So we're likely going to be ending this match, wrapping up, facing a 140 point swing from the Incineroar, and so I think it would have actually been better to think a little bit ahead and think, let's put that cape on the Togepi that we're hoping we're going to be able to miraculously evolve into the Togekiss, which is kind of our main way of actually winning this match. And that way, if we evolve that one, we're going to have it at 160 HP. And this is just a note for anybody looking to play this deck. You know, the 140 HP is not a great place to be at, but with the cape, which feels really good in this deck, then we suddenly get to 160. That feels like the right number, in my opinion, for this deck to get that 160 HP Togekiss so that it can very likely tank a hit. There's kind of like a key crucial number in this meta, I feel like, which is like around the 150 number where you're either going to get one shot or not get one shot. I was also totally like WTF in this match whenever my opponent used the early Giovanni on the Incineroar, getting the perfect kill. I actually retreated that Togepi at the beginning into the Farfetch'd, assuming, okay, it'll take 30 and then it'll take another 20 burn damage, and then, okay, random Giovanni. I've never seen that, but I haven't played as many. This is probably a pure Incineroar EX deck. Let me also shout out Sabrina as being so good with Tapu Lele. We saw it in the last match. We Sabrina'd their Darkrai to the bench after they put an energy on it. It completely wasted their energy turn, and we get to start pinging on the bench, and it put them in a tough situation. Here, once again, we force them to waste an energy again because we bring that Litten in and get this really awesome free damage on the benched Incineroar. Feels really good, honestly. All right, and so I feel like we basically played this match the best that we possibly could. The only mistake here really was potentially that cape, and yet we're seeing the weakness of this deck, which is the consistency. Pretty much almost every match that I lost with this deck, this is why I lost, which because oh, but hold on a second, we got a crazy match here. Suddenly, boom, we got the rare candy, we get the Togekiss, get the Cynthia, and boom, look, we're in business all of a sudden. We're gonna get another win here. But here is another crucial thing here, and this is why I really do think that Pokemon TCG Pocket, I mean, there really are choices that matter, I feel like, in this game, where it's pretty easy to mess up, honestly. I feel like it's not as easy as a lot of people maybe think, and oh, it's just pure luck. Because here, we had the choice between putting the Togekiss on either one of the Togepis, and I actually thought, should I play around the Cyrus? And I didn't play around the Cyrus, and it actually cost me the entire match. If I would have played around the Cyrus, I would have got a win, so I just completely threw that one away. Let's look at one more quick final match to finish my conversation about the consistency issues, and then we'll do, as I often do in my videos, a final sweep through all the cards in the deck and my thoughts currently on the deck. I feel like this final match is actually a perfect one to end on, as I feel like it really shows the pros and the cons of this deck really well. So first of all, no choices. All we had the choice was to play the Togepi. We get red carded right off the bat. Boom. Okay, couldn't do anything about it. So we lose one card, they lose one card. Play the Pokeball. And so we're just going to stress in this match again what I think is the main con of the deck. It's the consistency of the deck. Like I said, if you've played the rare candy decks, you know that sometimes they just can't put together what they're trying to put together, and they just crumble with just a basic Pokemon out and nothing really happens over the course of the match. It's happened to me so many times. And in the Charizard EX and Incineroar EX deck, which I've made a lot of videos on so far, it's running both an Iono and a Pokemon Communication, and it has 3 of the third evolutions in the deck. So not only do you have more Pokemon to evolve, you've also got more tools to find the Pokemon to evolve. This one, it's only got the 1 evolution line, and all it has is 1 Pokemon Communication. I'm just just assuming at this point that that's probably not quite correct. I would have to play more matches to be sure, of course, of anything I'm saying. I played 10 matches, got 7 out of 10. Should have been 8 out of 10 wins if you saw in the last match. So I actually should have went 8 out of 10 with this deck. It's feeling really good and powerful, but I'm running into these consistency issues. And look at this match, okay? There's just nothing we can do. It's exactly what I'm saying. Just pure consistency issues. And yet, even despite that, even with these consistency issues, the deck is performing well. So there obviously is power in this deck. Like if you look at this match, the way that I've ended up playing it out, I've been able to still keep one Togepi back on the bench. They're Rampardos-ing me, but I actually have 2 draws here to just draw into a rare I've had multiple draws to get the rare candy, actually. I think it's been 3 draws in a row. If we just hit that rare candy, we're actually in the position to win this match still. And because of the Togekiss, that 140 HP really is feeling great from the Togekiss. It survives the Rampardos, again, depending on what's happening. And okay, look what we have here suddenly. And boom, suddenly just like that, boom, we're back in it. We're back in the match. We've got that cape. So this, I really feel like this is strong. Togekiss, cape, 2 energies. It is feeling really strong. Is it as good as the other rare candy evolutions? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say it's not as good as some of the other ones because 2 energies. This is why I've said in this video, I feel like it's a little better just starting with it back on the bench. Although another thing too, that Togekiss in the deck, or sorry, Togetic, the fact that it deals 40 damage, so you've got a 20 into a 40 for 1 energy, then you can evolve again 3rd evolution. It actually makes for a really nice evolution line just from the 1, 2, 3. So another way I've been thinking of maybe upping the consistency of the deck and also might actually be totally just fine is to go ahead and put another one of the Togetic in actually. And here we had this match. We really did. Somehow we came back despite the consistency issues, but our opponent got the freaking double rare candy draw, and once again we lose. So even our losses, they were due to some consistency issues, but even then, all 3 losses with the consistency issues, 2 out of the 3 losses still felt winnable actually, very close. All right, so as always, to close out this video, I'm going to just put the deck list big on the screen. We're going to start on the top left and work our way through the cards one by one, and I'll give quick thoughts on each of the cards and my current thoughts of the deck for those that are really interested in playing the deck. As well as, again, one really quick final shout out. This is a brand new channel. I'm trying to grow it as fast as I can. If you like this format of video, if you like ranked tournament gameplay, please do consider subscribing. And even more importantly, let me know what you think about this format. Do you like whenever I go over every card individually at the end? Do you want to see more matches, less matches, shorter videos, etc.? Please let me know. All right, so starting on the top left with the Pokemon in the deck, we've got 2 Togepi, 1 Togetic, and 2 Togekiss. Okay, let me reiterate a couple of my thoughts here. I wonder if how good this deck is, because at the end of the day, there's always a best deck basically to play in the game, or a top 1, 2, 3 decks. We have a lot of options for triple evolution or double evolution, what should I say, Pokemon where you have 3 different forms. If you look at, for example, Charizard EX, the Stoke version, when you get the perfect draw and you're hitting that the first turn that you play your energy, you're also getting to do the evolution with Rare Candy, like if you play first, and then boom, you get to use the Stoke, and it's so powerful. Incineroar also, when you get that perfect draw, boom, you put the Incineroar into play, Rare Candy, attach your first energy, and you get to actually do something. You get to hit for 30 damage, plus the 20 guaranteed, plus maybe even 70 damage, just with that first 1 energy. It makes for a super powerful start. I could keep going. Garchomp, again, you've probably played against that a lot. Same thing. 1 energy right off the bat, and you're hitting for 50 damage anywhere on the field. Is really powerful. With the Togekiss, because we do also see the 2 energy ones, like for example, you see some Meowscarada hanging out there. You see Decidueye every once in a while. So like obviously these 2 energy ones they have warrants to them. There's reasons to play them, and Togekiss does feel really strong. But I feel like at the end of the day, some of these are going to win and some are not going to win. Togekiss, it does also have the advantage of not being an EX, which is actually huge, to be honest. It does have a good HP. Ultimately, I think one of these is the best and one of them is not, and so I still haven't made up my mind about this Togekiss deck, but it's a fun deck. Give it a try if you like this, and so far it feels good. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Is it really better than the alternatives? And I already mentioned with the Togetic, I am wondering about maybe ticking that up to 2 Togetics, no pun intended here, because it does feel good too. Even if you start with the Togepi and then let's say you're going first, then evolving into the Togetic and starting with the 40 damage, it's like, what about just switching the Farfetch'd for one more Togetic? Because like if the point is to get those early 40 damage hits, you can just get it with the Togetic and it's going to make the deck way more consistent. So I'm actually thinking of maybe shifting to probably getting rid of the Farfetch'd. I love Farfetch'd. Sorry, let's move on to Farfetch'd. I love Farfetch'd, but I don't know. Tapu Lele has been feeling so strong. I wonder if Tapu Lele is just straight up better than the Farfetch'd, or if we go up to 2 Togetics, if that kind of makes up for our idea of the Farfetch'd plus adding the consistency to the deck. The Tapu Lele, I would absolutely keep it in and keep playing with it. I will likely keep playing matches with this deck. If there's, give me a shout out in the comments if you want me to do a follow up if I keep playing this deck for a while and maybe make some tweaks. Okay, moving along, we've got 2 Cynthia. Obviously, those are going to be in the deck, super powerful. I showed you it's so powerful to start with like a Tapu Lele or a Farfetch'd, evolve the Togekiss on the bench, and then bring it in, and that first attack, getting the 110 damage to finish off whatever's out there up front. And then you have the follow-up 120, or if you have the 2 Cynthia, that's like the perfect draw. It's probably kind of unbeatable if you can actually pull that off. Okay, 2 Professor's Research. Obviously, 1 Cyrus and 1 Sabrina. It's felt fine and good so far. I would plan on currently keeping those in the deck and just keep testing them out and see. Maybe they could change, but we'll see. The 2 Rare Candy, obviously those are going to stay in. 2 Pokeball, I think those are pretty obviously going to stay in. Let's go to the 2 Giant Capes next. My personal opinion of the Giant Capes, as I mentioned, is that they have felt absolutely fantastic in the deck because of Togekiss with that 140 HP. What are you going to be facing down? Okay, you're going to be facing Charizards. They're going to be dealing 150. They're going to one-shot you. You're going to be facing Incineroars dealing 140. They're going to one-shot you. You're going to be facing Giratinas dealing 130 that can always, pretty much always, at least when I play it, they always have the option of putting that extra dark energy on a Darkrai also. Then they hit for 150 total, and they even play red sometimes. Red won't affect us. So that's another situation where they can only deal the 150, and so bumping from the 140 to 160 feels absolutely key to me, and it even feels pretty good on Tapu Lele. Also, you've got a lot of 50 damagers running around as well, like the Carnivine, for example. You can take 2 hits now suddenly on the Tapu Lele. And so the final card is going to be that Pokemon communication. This is the one thing where I'm also wondering, is this really the optimal version of the deck? I'm sure the person who piloted this tournament must have played it a lot and tuned it pretty well, which is why it's already doing so well. But that's the one thing I would just really love to see a little bit of extra consistency. Would it be possible to maybe switch the Pokemon communication for an Iono, or maybe edit the Pokemon mix somehow to make the communication more consistent? Something. Maybe 1 communication, 1 Iono, maybe adding that extra Togetic somehow makes it more consistent. Something like that. That's what I'd like to see. All right, with that, that's everything I've got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like if you want to help me out, and I'll see you in the next video.